Hello everyone, and I'm back. Hi guys, so this is the five-part masterclass part 2. No, it's part 1. It's the second time I'm doing the five-part masterclass. This masterclass is named as Liberate the Potential Masterclass. This is Liberate the Potential Masterclass where we take potential from frustration, confusion, and stagnation to absolute freedom and complete expression. Hi guys, so I'm doing a live stream on YouTube right now. If you guys are interested, you can check my YouTube right away, Bharat Maximus, and you can join there. You can ask questions there. I've come here live just to connect you guys to the stream because I have the screens and everything connected. I'm live on Instagram as well. But yes, it's a very exciting day. I said I would do around 10 of these masterclasses also to go through my own thoughts to finalize this knowledge and literally settle it into my book. I'm writing my own book, so I want to take this knowledge, organize this, and put it into my book, which I plan to release till my birthday, which is on 18th March. But yes, welcome back to the masterclass. This is the Liberate the Potential masterclass. In this masterclass, we take potential from confusion, stagnation, and frustration to complete expression and absolute freedom. This is the part 1 of the masterclass today. In this masterclass, part 1, we'll be talking about philosophy and success. And I seriously think philosophy is the most important part of this masterclass in order to liberate your potential, whoever it is. This masterclass is purely for the high potential individuals who think they are somewhere or the other suppressing their potential, not able to express their potential, and they want to seek more, they want to express more. This is for them. So in this masterclass, I've started it with philosophy and success because I don't think there is any more important topic than philosophy, because until and unless your philosophy is clear, your whole life you'll end up working for some external goals, and when you work for some external goals, you're just a slave to them. You don't want to be that. You want to be a free person. You want to have your own understanding of the world and work because of understanding, not to achieve some goal. Of course, goal achieving will be the most important part of this masterclass as well. But we want to here in the first part itself establish the ground on which we're gonna build our goals, because this understanding should set you free. This understanding should give you the clarity for life, such that from here you don't have to seek anything at all in this world to complete yourself, but see everything in this world as a playground to play on, as a fun game to enjoy life as. I want you guys to take everything from this masterclass that you can. I've spent years trying to develop this part of the philosophy. I want to give it all away in one part, as fluently, as articulately as I can. I'm not as good at it yet, but I really believe I would convey the information that is needed in the most clearest way possible. So we're going to start. This is the part 1 of the masterclass, Liberate the Potential, where we take potential from confusion, stagnation, and frustration to absolute freedom and complete expression. So, what is philosophy? Philosophy is basically your understanding of life and this world. You see, we are at a time in this life and world as a whole where religions are at a decline. People have become more curious than ever. We started to question things, and we started to not believe in the things that were already told to us. That was already told to us. Nobody these days believe in religions. Nobody wants to accept the rules and regulations of the doctrines that have been given through religions. We are rebelling, but for some reason we're at a place where so many youth in this world, such a large number of youth in this world, they've rebelled against the religions and the customs and practices that were followed in religions before, but somehow they don't have the answer to replace that yet. So what ends up happening is that even after rebelling against their own religions, they end up coming back to it because they don't have any a right place to go to. They don't have a right understanding of this world. And I wanted to have it, so I questioned more and more and more and more and more. I read all of the philosophies out there that exist. I read all of the personal development books. I read all of the self help books. I read over 1,000 books. I did not find my answer, and I eventually stumbled upon this book called Gita. In 5 years, I read around 1,000 books trying to seek my answer. I didn't get it, and then I came to this book Gita, and then I read the single book over 1,000 times for the next 3 to 4 years. That is how deeply important this book was in my journey in shaping me as a person and in my intellectual philosophical journey of my life. And not because it is something better than other things or anything like that, but because it simply talks about the truth. So in here, in philosophy, I don't want to give you my point of view of the world. I want you to, I'll give you questions that were given to me so that you can realize yourself. So Gita is purely about self realization. In Bhagavad Gita, we try to understand who we are, and the moment you understand that, you basically gain freedom. And that is the goal of this part of the masterclass. What you want is to question ourselves, who we are, and I don't want you to believe me. I don't want you to do what I say you to do. I don't want you guys to trust me with anything. This is pure freedom, purely truth. This is Gita. That Gita derives its philosophical groundings from Upanishads, non-duality. There are two parts of it: non-duality and dual philosophy. Advaita and Dvaita philosophy will focus on non-duality because that is the highest, corest philosophy of Indian scriptures. And again, it does not, I don't care about if it's Indian or not. If this philosophy was written by an American, I would follow it with just as much heart. If this philosophy was written by Jesus, I would follow it with just as much heart. I don't even care if it's Indian. I don't give two flying dustbins that it is Indian philosophy. The whole point that I'm trying to convey in this masterclass is that this is truth, and this is a truth that I want you to come to through your own questioning. So in this part, in this philosophy part, we'll just understand one thing, that is, who are you? I want you to constantly question yourself, who are you? Because answer of this is the end of the philosophy masterclass. Like, this is all that is there in this masterclass. I'm going to speak about it for an hour, and I'm going to do it 1,000 times. But this is all that it is about. Who are you? Now, when you ask this question to yourself, what you'll try to do is we'll try to take off. We'll try to take off the layers like we peel an onion. So there's nobody watching me live, so I cannot. Are you talking with the client? um i'm I'm doing a live stream right now on YouTube, so if you want to join there, you can join. It's the first part of my masterclass. It'll be uploaded on YouTube as a whole as well. This part is about philosophy and success, so yes. So i want you I want you to think. I'm sorry, I was talking to Instagram. I want you to think deeply about who are you, and then we'll try to peel off the layers like an onion. So, when we question ourselves who we are, normally a person answers his name. So, I say, I'm Bharat. So, I question you again. Are you really Bharat? Is Bharat all that you are? Because Bharat is just a name. It was given to me by my parents to this body and mind when I was like this little. They could have named me Ryan, and I would be Ryan. I can change my name today to Ye, and I'd be Ye. I literally changed my name 3 times, by the way. I was first known as Akash, I was known as Honey at home, then my name shifted to Bharat, then I changed my surname to Maximus. So for sure, name is not all that we are, right? So then I want you to question, what else are you? If you're not your name, what else are you? Then people come to the second layer of this questioning, and then they say, I am my body. I am my body. But again, I want you to question yourself, are you really this body? Because this body was literally this small, what, 20 years ago. It's this big. It's going to get 80 years old. It'll get smaller, it'll shrink, and eventually it'll pass away. In fact, your cells, they get replaced every 5 years. Almost all your cells from scratch get replaced in 20 years. So whatever cell you think that you were on a molecular level, you literally died 10 years ago completely, and this is a whole new cell structure. So I just want you to don't get like too against at this point. Just try to go with the flow, and you have the whole day to question this to yourself. I'm just giving you one frame, one one framework through which we can understand, through which we can reach an understanding of who we are actually. So the second layer that comes to people is that when they say, I am my body, and we have just concluded that I cannot be my body, because how can you be your body? Because your body literally died 5 years ago, 10 years ago. Most of your cells have completely died and come anew. So we say, I am not my body either. Then what do people say? I'm not, okay, Bharat, I'm not my name, I'm not my body. Then what am I? Okay, I am my mind. I am my mind. And mind you, people also say with Bharat that I am this career, I am this career, I'm an engineer. Bro, you could be a designer the next day. You cannot, this is not your identity. This is just a part of what you are for a very small period of time. Then people say, I'm my caste, I'm my religion, and blah blah blah. But that's what the whole point I'm trying to say is that these things are and these things will go. Alright, I want you to focus here. These things are and these things go. Your religion you can change any single moment. Your caste you can change any single moment. Your career you can change any single moment. Your name you can change any single moment. You're not your name, you're not your career, you're not your caste, you're not religion, you're not your color, you're not your body. And then you say, I am my mind. And then I want you to question yourself, are you really your mind? What is mind? Mind is movement of mental thoughts, mental movement in mental plane. And what is mind? Mind is basically movement of movement on mental plane. What does that mean? It means that mind is simply a movement of mental things like thoughts and feelings. What happens is that mind is simply, in mind, some thoughts arise and they die off. Some feelings arise, they die off. Some thoughts arise, they die off. Some feelings arise, they die off. Mind is defined as a movement. It's not a constant thing either. You say, but this is where a lot of people go wrong as well. Like if you really want to think about it, this is one of the biggest traps that people get into, because when people ask when someone asks you, who you are, not who you are, but whenever you go through things in life, you eventually end up saying that I am happy, I am sad, I am angry, I am anxious. But and this might seem like a simple thing, but it ends up hurting a lot of people. Because when you say I am happy, you are saying that all that I am, all that I am, my existence is of happiness. And how can you be happiness when you're literally going, when it's literally going to end in like 5 to 10 minutes? So this is called attachment. This is called identification with something. Up until now, we've realized that we are not a name, body, mind. Why? Because name can be changed. It is a temporary thing. Body can be changed. Body changes all the time. Body arise. Body literally dies and generates new all the time. In mind, thoughts arise and die off all the time as well. Feelings arise and die off all the time as well. But when you say I am sad, I am depressed, I am happy, I am joyous, I am anxious, you're identifying with a fleeting emotion, because you have to realize, just like everything, just like you personally would have also witnessed, no happiness ever lasts forever, no sadness ever lasts forever, no depression ever lasts forever, unless it is caused out of attachment and ignorance itself. But even then, even a depressed person smiles in a day, right? So when you identify with that, that is where things go wrong. But we're not coming to identification up until yet. I just want you guys to understand that you are not your name, you're not your body, you're not your mind. Thoughts. Thoughts arise in your head. I think I should do this. I think I should do that. A thought of a beautiful lady came into my mind. A thought of me dancing came into my mind. It came and it went away. This movement is called as mind. So when you say I am a mind, you're not your mind either, because it's a moving thing. It's a arising and dying thing. It's not a permanent thing. But for some reason, something in you has stayed constant. You see, as I've drawn this line, something in you has stayed completely constant throughout. Why? Because since the day you were a kid till now, you know that you are. And this is important. You know that you are, but I've just told you, you are, but you are not your name, body, or mind. Then you come to a final question, that who am I? If my thoughts and feelings are temporary, fleeting, if my body is constantly changing, then who is me that has stayed constant? Who is this observer? And that is when you realize that this thing which I've been constantly drawing, this line on which your name arises and dies, your body arises and dies, and your mind arises and dies. This line is what has always stayed constant. What is this line? This line is purely awareness. This is what we learn in non-dual philosophy. Now, this is a very small way to explain it, and I don't want you guys to think that you can understand this in one go, because it took me reading Gita for over 1,000 times to get this concept. But just try to understand this intellectually, right? Because intellectually it can be understood. I've just proven to you guys that you're not all of these things, but you are the line on which everything happens. You are the plane on which everything happens. Plane on which everything, how does everything happens? Everything happens like this. It arises and dies. It arises and dies. It arises and dies. It arises and dies. And I just concluded that you are the line on which everything happens. And I'm not concluded, I've logically proven it to you guys. For you to realize it can take time, but you have to at least intellectually get that you are pure awareness. What do I mean by pure awareness? You might have heard people saying this term, playing with this term a lot of times: consciousness, awareness, spiritual reality, self realization. What is all that? Self realization simply means realizing who you are. Who you are, and I've just made you guys realize, is pure awareness. What do I mean by this? That you're not your body, you're not your mind, you're not your name, caste, religion, color, etc., career. You are the observer. Ever since the day you were born up till now, you are the observer behind this body mind that has observed observed you growing from a kid to now a teenager or a young adult or an adult or an old man. You're the plane of awareness on which all of your life has unfolded. What does this mean? This, and why did I say all of this? What is the importance of all of this? Because because once you understand this, you guys have to realize you just unlock freedom for infinite lifetimes. If there is a single lifetime, then you unlock freedom for this entire life. If there are multiple lifetimes, then you unlock freedom for your entire lifetimes. Why? Because you have to realize all of the problems that you ever had in your life and all of the problems that you will have in your future life, they arose from just this one thing, that is identification. You see, you can only be hurt if you think something is at stake. You can hurt me by saying I'm a fat ass if I think I am this person who is fit. You can insult me by abusing my mom if I think all that I am is a son of a mother. You can ridicule me on my looks if I think that this is all that is me. You can confuse me with putting my family members at stake, by kidnapping my family members, by putting someone close to me on a gunpoint, when I think that that is all that matters in this world. You see, you can only be affected as long as you think you are something, as long as you identify with something. Now, does this mean that you shouldn't get affected? No, you should get affected and you should take the right actions according to the right effects. What I mean by what I want to convey from this point is that what was this masterclass about? Taking potential from confusion, stagnation, frustration to freedom and expression. You are a high potential individual. You want to do something, but you are not able to do it. You know there is infinite potential in you, but you're not able to do that. The point of this masterclass is to take that potential from stagnation, from confusion, from frustration to absolute blooming of itself. I want you to bloom like a flower blooms. I want you to burn like a sun burns without any confusion at all. So why did I say that all the problems arise from identification, and why you shouldn't get affected by things? It's not because you should magically become stoic and become indifferent to everything, but you should at the back of your head realize that yes, you are this name, career, son, family, caste, religion, whatever, but this is not all that you are. Yes, in this life we are all these things that I mentioned as well, but this is not all that we are. Identification is the root cause of all problems in the world, because when you say that this is all I am, and when you are afraid to let go of things, that causes repression, that causes suppression of potential. Now, is it some holy thing to express your potential? No, I'm not saying you should express your potential. I'm just saying that if there is a potential in you that wants to be expressed, that is, if you want to do something, I want you to remove all obstacles that lie in front of it that are stopping you from expressing yourself. Identification stops you from expressing yourself because when you get attached to a certain thing in life, you cannot move forward. You cannot move forward. I want you to be free in life. You can choose to enjoy this for as long as you want, the current state of reality. But the when you as a free energy wants to move forward, it should have the freedom to move forward as well. This concept in non-duality is explained as a movie screen and a movie. Imagine there's a white big movie screen and there's a movie playing on it. Now, as you all know, movie is basically video. Video is made up of frames. Frames keep changing. Right now it's this frame. Next second it will be another frame. This is life. That which is moving all the time, this is life. And I just explained to you guys that you are this screen. When this screen identifies with this frame, is this frame not a part of the screen in this time and moment right now? Yes, it is. But when this screen says that this frame is all that I am, when the screen says this frame is all that I am, I'll show you guys. So in non-duality we understand that, let's say this is a movie screen and this is a movie playing on it. We understand the movie is made up of frames and frames change all the time. This changing of frames is life. The screen is called you in non-duality. But and all problems, the source of all problems in this world, in this lifetime, is identification, as I said, right? What is it in practical terms? When you as a screen, when a frame is being played on the screen, say that this is all that I am. Is frame not a part of you right now? Yes, it is. But when you as a screen, the white screen behind this yellow orange frame says this is all I am, this is all that I am, now you cannot move to the second frame. This is what I mean when I say that identification is the source and root cause of all problems altogether. And just realizing who you are, just realizing that you are the screen, not the frame alone, not the screen and the frame together, you just get the freedom for the next frame to come in. You just get the freedom to express the potential and desire in you that was trying to express itself. When a flower blooms, it does not ask, why should I bloom? A flower blooms because it wants to bloom. Similarly, You have a desire that you want to express. When you go on asking anyone that what is my purpose, but why should I follow this goal of mine, but why should I even get rich, but why should I even buy that car, but why should I even do this hard work, you need to understand that it is stupid because you want to do that. But i'm I'm not saying stupid in a bad way. I'm saying stupid because it has come out of ignorance, and I want to enlighten you guys. I want to enlighten you in this masterclass itself, in this part itself, so that you don't feel frustrated, depressed, or confused ever in your life again. How? By just understanding, as I explained here, that you are not your name, career, caste, religion, body, mind, but you are the pure awareness on which everything happens. You are the screen, not the frame. And because you are the screen, not the frame itself, now you, for the first time in your life, have freed yourself from identification. And guess what I told you guys? Identification is the root cause of all problems in life. If you just move beyond identification, if you just move beyond identification, now you have freed yourself to do you in life, to be yourself in life, to do anything that wants to be done from you, to do anything that you truly desire, to take your potential, as I said in the beginning, from frustration, confusion, stagnation to absolute freedom and complete expression. This is the beauty of non-dual philosophy. This is the beauty of understanding who you are. I'll summarize whatever we studied up till now. In this part of Masterclass, we'll try to understand two things: philosophy and success in life. In philosophy, I said there's only one thing to understand. The philosophy is derived from non-dual philosophy, from Upanishads, from Indian scriptures. Although I do not care about it being Indian at all, it's purely about truth. It's philosophy about truth. What is the truth about? The truth is about you. This philosophy is purely about understanding who you are, asking yourself who you are, and asking yourself who you are until you come to a point where you realize that you are not all of the things that you thought you were. And when you realize that you are not all the things that you thought you were, you come to a realization that you are the pure awareness in which everything happened. And then I came to the second point of the masterclass, which is that identification is the root cause of all problems in your life. It has been the root cause of all problems in your life. It is the root cause of all problems in your life. And it is going to be the root cause of all problems in your life. And how do you free yourself from the root cause of all problems in your life that ever were, is, and will be? By just knowing who you are. So, congratulations, you have just gained enlightenment. You have just freed yourself. You've literally freed yourself for this lifetime and for all the lifetimes in your future ahead. This is called Jivan Mukh in Gita. This is called liberation in Indian scriptures, and you've just gained it. The only point is that you've gained it on an intellectual point, on an intellectual plane, not a realization plane. But if you go through this again and again, I'm sure it'll come to you on a realization plane as well. I cannot give that to you. Sadly, I wish I could. But if you are a seeker, you will definitely realize it on your own. When I intellectually got it, I already felt enlightened. But it took me some months or maybe 1 year to realize it in my own body. And when I did, I was enlightened for life. You could not make me sad again. I rose above all attachments. Now, even if I'm happy, I can see happiness. So, what this also gives you is an emotional mastery over yourself. Now, you can never be caught in a bad mood if you don't want to. The beauty of this is when you know this is a frame, and let's say it's a sad moment right now. The beauty of this philosophy, the beauty of understanding this is that you can literally see sadness on you and you can literally detach yourself from it. You see, people suffer more in their imagination than they suffer in actual life. And if I were to give you a ratio, people suffer 99% of their sadness in their imagination than what it is in actual life. Actual pain is just 1%. So this also gives you emotional mastery in a sense that now next time whenever you'll be excited, you'll be sad, you'll be able to see those emotions and not identify with them, and you'll have the clarity to act on what you want to act. Now the question comes, what to do in life? And now this is also an interesting question because up till now I have, if I were to summarize my philosophy, I would summarize it as the sentence that I say all the time to myself to remind me of this philosophy. My small abbreviation of this philosophy is simply, I'm awareness, everything is an illusion passing in awareness. Now, once you realize this, now you also want to know what to do, because even though you're enlightened, life goes on, action is always happening. Now, the question comes, what do you do? And the answer simply is design and act. Whatever you want to do, you do. Now, you just do it without heaviness. I am awareness. Everything is an illusion passing in awareness. In Gita, there is a very famous word called Sthit Pragya. Let me complete this sentence. Desire and act according to your nature, established in this freedom of self knowledge. People should pay me thousands of dollars to explain this, because I literally just explained you guys the whole Gita. What I just did here is explain you guys the entire Gita in what, 37 minutes, 30 minutes. This is Gita. Realizing who you are and then acting according to your nature. The question that people ask all the time, what to do? Desire and act according to your nature. What do you want to do? What did you want to do before you came to this question of, hey, what to do in life? Hey, what is the purpose of life? What was flowing in life already that you stopped and asked the world, what's the purpose of life? Why should I do it? And you were already doing it, so this does not need telling what to do, right? Because you always knew what to do. You always have a desire. Now the whole point is to do it established in this freedom of self-knowledge. There is a very famous word in Gita called Sthit Pragya. It simply means established in wisdom. Sthit Pragya, which means established in wisdom. Wisdom in Gita, stands for self-knowledge, Atma-Gyan, self-knowledge. What was self-knowledge? Over self-knowledge, I am awareness. everything is an illusion passing in awareness. What this gives, whenever I say this sentence, I want you guys to get two things, understand two things, feel two things: freedom and the power to see. Freedom, energy, and the power to see. What does this system give you guys is simply freedom, energy, and power to see. In other words, I can also say I am the screen, not the frame. So, what is entire Gita summarized in one line? Desire and act according to your nature, established in the freedom of self knowledge. Established in self knowledge. And if I have to abbreviate it even more, established in self knowledge. What is philosophy? What is the whole Gita summarized in one line? Act according to your nature, अपने स्वभाव के अकॉर्डिंग, अपने स्वभाव अनुसार काम करें, स्थित प्रज्ञ होकर. Act according to your nature, established in self knowledge. That is a philosophy. If you understand this, now for your entire life you are free, because you just gained self knowledge. Like, I don't know what else to say. Like, you've just freed yourself for life, and I think that's an amazing place to be at. If you're watching this after my life, put down questions if you have. I would love to answer. And now, if I were to give you, this is the wisdom part of it, this is the philosophy part of this masterclass. Then the second part of the masterclass, we talk about success. This is also where people mistake and get confused and commit mistakes, because in India people think enlightenment as a end result, as the end, when according to Gita or according to any great philosopher, this is the starting of life. This is the ground on which you build your life. So even though you got enlightened, I don't want you guys to understand this, to think of this as something you want to reach. You want to understand this as a ground to live your life from. This, I'll abbreviate it. I am awareness, everything is an illusion passing in awareness, is the ground from where to live life. In even simpler words, if I had to conclude my philosophy, I would say desire and act according to your nature from lightness. Just don't ever get caught feeling heavy in life. Just don't ever get caught being depressed, because you're free from lightness, from freedom. That is all that Gita is. In Gita it says, it's called without attachment, act act according to your nature without attachment to the results of your action. But I simply say it as from freedom, because once you understand you are awareness, you also understand that there's nothing out there in this world to complete you. Whatever you do in this world is just expression, not a way to complete yourself, because you're literally the screen. You cannot be completed. Everything is just going to be another frame in this lifetime. So what you are is an infinite free awareness. So now we come to the second part of the masterclass, that is how to be successful in life. I am free. Now tell me how to be successful in life. There are two questions, right? I am successful but I am not free. And the other question is, I am free but I am not successful. So then we answer how to be successful in life. So as we discussed in the philosophy part of the masterclass, the conclusion that we came to was I'm awareness, everything is an illusion passing in awareness. This is the ground from where to live life. Desire and act according to your nature, from lightness and freedom without attachment, from lightness and freedom of being awareness, of knowing yourself as awareness. Then the second question comes, now I'm free, how to be successful? Now I am free, how to be successful? How do you become successful? Now, I have spent an immense amount of time in this question as well. And when you read a lot of Western literature, you come to this conclusion. There's a beautiful definition of success given by Earl Nightingale. He talks about it in Stranger's Secret. I don't know if he gave it or not. But I want you guys to know this, and I think this is the clearest definition ever given of success. And that is, success is the progressive realization of a worthy ideal. Success is simply a girl who wants to become a teacher working towards becoming a teacher. Success is simply an ambitious person like me who wants to become a centimillionaire working up to earning $100 million in a year. Success is simply a creative person working towards becoming an artist which he dreams of becoming. So one way to simply understand success is that, as we discussed earlier, that how do we live life is simply desire and act. If you take spirituality as a way to run from life, not desire, then you're literally killing yourself in the name of spirituality. That is not spirituality. We want to live fully. We want to use spirituality as a ground of freedom from which we live and bloom fully. So as I said, we have to desire and act according to our nature from lightness and freedom. From lightness and freedom is the philosophical part. Everything else is now practical success part. So when I say desire and act, you as a person have a lot of desire. I want this, 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 I want that, I want this, I want that, I want this, I want that, I want this, I want that. But honestly, you don't want as many things. This is what people say to confuse themselves. But people just want 2 to 3 to 4 main things in their life. Even among all of these 3 to 4 things in their lives, let's say even 5, there is one thing that they want more than everything else at the moment. There is one thing that they want more than everything else at the moment. Just knowing this, just knowing this is success. If I tell you, just knowing at this moment what you want more than anything else in your life, that is success. Why? Because now you have a worthy ideal in life. You have something that you consider worthy in life, and you consider it worthy more than everything else in life. And how do you know that? Because you literally went through this process of asking yourself what all do I want, and then you figured out that this is what I want more than anything else, and I'm in love with this. When you just realize what you want more than anything else in your life, you have simply become successful. All that you have to do now is burn the rest of your goals and commit fully to the singular goal of yours. Burn the rest of your goals and commit to this single worthy idea of yours. You don't have to achieve it, you don't have to succeed in it. If you just know it, if you just commit to it, and if you just take one small step towards it, now you are successful. Because now you're not a sheep being driven by external forces in life. Now you're not a little, if I could draw it, oops, not visible there, oops, not visible there either. What I'm saying is that now you're not a sheep, but you have personally, your own self, decided to pursue something. Now you're not a sheep anymore. This is a sheep. But now you're a captain of your soul. Now you have personally, your own self, decided the thing that you want the most in your life, and now you're moving towards it. That is it. That, after years, decades, and centuries of research in Western philosophy, have been concluded as the sole, singular, most clear definition of success. And this, and in this process, of course, I'll talk about this process in the second part of the masterclass, which is called goals, where I'll tell you that once you realize that your awareness and not all of these things that you think that you are, you also need to understand that the awareness that we talked about, you also need to understand, this is the last thing that I'll talk about in this masterclass, that the awareness that we concluded that you are, on which everything happens, is also the foundational creative power in this world. In fact, this awareness is what these things are made of. Just like a dream feels real when you're sleeping, but when you wake up, you realize all of this was mind stuff. Similarly, this whole world is simply awareness stuff made of your foundational being. And when you realize your awareness, you are God, you are the creative source behind everything, you also realize that you have the creative power to create anything that you want in your life. When you realize that you are the infinite awareness that has the creative power to create anything in your life, now when you set these goals, now you don't set it from fear, you don't set it from insecurity, you set it from freedom and infinite power of your being. Infinite power of your being. When you set it from the infinite power of your being, now you truly set a goal that you truly think is worthy. And you should never ask if the goal is worthy of you. You should ask, is the goal worthy of you? Because you're going to spend your life pursuing it. So, this was the part one of the Liberate the Potential Masterclass. We went from understanding who we are, understanding the philosophy of life. Philosophy we concluded as act without attachment, act from the lightness of knowing that your awareness and everything is an illusion passing in awareness. And when you did that, you realize that, oh wow, I'm free, what should I do? And then I explained how it converts into success in practical life. It converts by you being free from all the attachments that you were attached to, you thinking clearly about all the things that you want, then you figuring out what you want the most in life, and you do that from the infinite power and freedom of being awareness. And then you set a goal that is truly worthy for you, that is an ideal that you want in your life. When you finally find an ideal in your life, you simply move towards it. You simply move towards it, and when you move towards it, you find success, you become successful. Congratulations, you've become enlightened, you've understood what success is, and if you have in this process also found out or seen or observed or felt your worthy ideal, congratulations, you have become successful as well. Congratulations, you just passed the first part of the masterclass. Congratulations on becoming enlightened. You're the rare 1% who listen to something that nobody else listens to. You're a seeker. You've done an amazing job. Congratulations on being enlightened again. This seriously, if you realize it in real life, will free you from infinite lifetimes worth of sadness or depression and free you completely. And then if you can also use this clarity to find out what you want the most in life and then single-mindedly commit to it. Gita also talks about single-mindedness and that it also can only be achieved when you have this knowledge, because unless you are free from all of the distractions by knowing that all of them are passing illusions, it's difficult to focus at one goal. So once you understand this, you get the power to single-mindedly devote yourself to the ideal that you want. And when you do that, you've simply found complete and absolute freedom on all aspects of human life, and you're free to live your best life ahead. You've completely liberated, you've finally liberated your potential from being confused, stagnated, and frustrated, to it being free and completely expressing itself. Rest of the things I'll talk about in the next four parts of the masterclass, which is going to be about the second part of the masterclass is going to be about paradigms. Third part of the masterclass is going to be about goals and decisions. Fourth part of the masterclass is going to be about self-image. Fifth part of the masterclass is going to be about discipline and Q&A. So if you have any questions, please do write in the comments. I'd love to answer in the fifth part of the masterclass. I'll hopefully be doing that tomorrow or day after tomorrow. I'll try to get two parts of the masterclass done in a day. If I'm on a roll, I might even do five. So yes, that was the first part of the second masterclass of mine, Liberate the Potential, where we take potential from confusion, stagnation and frustration to complete expression and absolute freedom. I hope you guys could take away something from this masterclass. It was a real pleasure being here, sharing my wisdom with you guys, sharing my knowledge with you guys. I hope this could add into the world. I hope you could take something from this. I hope you could become 1% better than you were yesterday. I hope you could feel 1% freer than you were feeling before the masterclass. If you did, please drop down a comment, connect with me on YouTube or Instagram, DM me. I would love to answer your questions, and thank you for watching again. See you in the next part. See ya. Peace. Yes, we did it. Just wrapped up the first part of my Liberate the Potential masterclass on YouTube. It was amazing. It was crazy. If you guys are interested, go watch it on YouTube. I'll upload all of it on YouTube.